L4 Media. We talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie, and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. So like and subscribe and check us out. We are technically at the... Whoa, what were you doing over there, man?
Scratching.
What were you scratching?
Mange, fleas.
What you got from the hotel?
Yeah. I wasn't a bad hotel.
Oh, no, it was a great hotel.
Other than the kids.
They weren't too bad the second night. It was
open door, slam door. Open door, slam door.
Yeah.
Open door.
Well, I think also
door.
that was
Can
because
I keep going.
Yeah, you can keep going. Now, I think that's also where we were because we were right down the hallway from the outdoor. It was weird. We were down in Houston for Kilgore versus Needville and Stillsby versus Belleville. And lo and behold, there's the FC Dallas youth soccer team staying in our hotel.
Those guys suck.
Wow.
I mean, just because they're so loud.
I
don't know how
the
they
youth.
Are. Well, I do too, but not loud youth.
Yeah. You want the old children should be seen and not heard.
That's right.
But hey, we had a blast of a trip. In fact, honestly, the most enjoyable part, love high school football, was Saturday though. We decided we were going to make it a college football day, and we basically watched 14 hours of college football.
Yeah.
We went to a restaurant for the first part to be able to watch Michigan, Ohio State, A&M, LSU, Louisville, Kentucky, and just great. And then we went back to the hotel room and watched the nightcaps, took a nap in between because we're at that age now where we take a nap in between.
Different beds.
Yeah, thankfully.
You're the one that used to book.
It wasn't on purpose. My gosh, let it go, dude. Let it go.
How can I not let it go?
You're worse than Coach X about stuff like that, man.
Well, I don't know. Just did something to my manhood, and then to this day, not that I have a lot of. So
manhood. Let me ask you, what do you think was going to happen if Kevin McPherson would have went with us? You think there's no 3-bedroom hotel? I mean, I guess the fancy ones.
The golden retriever sleeping at the foot of your bed,
or get him a cot.
Yeah,
that's what I had to do as a kid. Yes, as a kid, it's terrible. Those are just
for an extra $9.
Yeah, for an extra $9. Actually, I think now they usually put them complimentary. But anyway, it was fun.
I don't know. I've never been in a room with enough dudes to need a roll bed.
Well, me, you, and Jimmy probably should have back in Houston when he almost passed away with a bologna sandwich on his chest. Whoa!
What did you do that on your? You did that
not on purpose. No, I did it, but I didn't do it on purpose. My palm was right there.
We didn't even have that drop loaded into the board.
No, we did. That actually comes with the board.
I believe you.
It comes with a lot of cool. Well, I guess it didn't come with nothing there. That's weird.
Okay. What? Wow, that's me. Oh
no.
Is this bad?
Do that one more time. I want to do all my Coach X. I want to read Coach X.
In this.
No.
So, for Brownwood and Decatur.
No.
No, wait.
We need to do it for the playoff tree. The playoff. Wait, what is it?
Oh, yeah. Hello, I'm Playoff Tree. Playoff Tree thinks you should pick Decatur over Brownwood.
This is the 3A show.
Well, you cut it off. Then they could tell it's me because it told off.
Oh yeah, that's what gave it away. Nothing else. That's what gave it away. I didn't know it did that. That's pretty cool. We haven't really played with all the buttons on here. Anyway,
I like my voice that way. Can I just be that?
Just be that consistently?
No, yeah, seriously.
Go to work meetings like that. You think you'd get respect with that voice?
No,
I think it'd creep people out. Yeah, I think it'd creep people out.
Well, that's what I need to get respect is to creep people out.
You know what else creeps people out?
Listen.
We got to do it early, man.
Give it to you.
Turn my voice on.
To get it on your own. X go deliver to you. Knock, open up the
This Coach X is gonna meet his demise. He will meet his demise by messing with my friend Grant.
Anyway, Coach X is a real coach here in Texas, and he gives us a diatribe each and every week, and then he'll pick out a couple key games. I think he basically picks one game per region. Here's what he has to say. How can the third round be the regional round of the playoffs if there's still one more round before you're the regional champion? Like I keep hearing this round is the state quarterfinals and the last round was the regional round, yet we're still in the region and have no champion of said region until this game is over. So be happy you're playing in the regional championships and don't try to do what Joe Dirt did and churching it up by putting an E on the end of his name, Joe Dirt. They live by Joe's motto, life's a garden, dig it, make it work. On with the picks. Oh, and piss Grant off one more time and hit my music. Wow, okay.
Listen,
My
X
voice.
gon' give it to you. Wait for you to get it
One more
on your
time,
own.
Coach
X gon'
X.
deliver to you.
And I will come through your bedroom window
Oh, okay.
with my buck
Knife.
What?
Quit doing that, Terry.
Let's get into it. Let's go. We're talking.
I don't have a buck knife.
We're talking class. Yeah, senior knife. It's not a bug knife. That sounded.
That sounded weird.
Yeah, that didn't
You're
go.
talking about the peanut.
That didn't go where I
It's
meant for it to
little,
win.
yes.
Anyway, what we're gonna do is what we
You
always.
can pop a beer cap with that sometimes.
This is the second show, by the way, folks. If you know, you know. That means 4A. You're gonna have fun tonight because it's one of those nights. It always is at this point. But let's get into Class 3A. We're gonna start where we always do. Region 1, Division 1. We've got a honey of a matchup. It's a rematch. It feels like this region has been nothing but rematches the last few years because it has. District 4, 3A Division 1 has ruled the roost, and they're going to roll it one more year. Paradise 12-1, Brock 10-3.
I thought we were going 4A first.
No, we're doing 3A.
Oh, oops.
I even said this is the 3A show. You ready? Do we need to take a break and then come back?
No,
You okay?
I'm good. I'm always prepared.
This is like I bet you went into English class a lot of times and
I was
thought
like,
you were in
when
math.
did Paradise get moved up?
Brock will be moved up this next year, though. By the way, mock realignments are out. If you care about that, go over to Dave Campbell's and check it out. Anyway, Paradise 12-1 versus Brock 10-3, Friday, 7 p.m. Mineral Wells Rams Stadium. A rematch of a game that I think a lot of people thought in the district was going to be more of a shootout style game with the Austin Iglesias and the Brock offense, and it got into a defensive game, and that's where Brock wanted it to be the whole time. I don't know if there's going to be much change in that. I just feel that for Paradise, this is just a bad matchup.
Yes, it is, right? And let's add that I believe Austin Iglesias and Aiden Winters both got banged up a little bit against Bushland last week. So they needed Iglesias especially, and if not Winters as well, to be 100% healthy against this Brock defensive front. I know we saw that Brock defensive front just get absolutely manhandled by Gunner, but that is a 1 week sample.
Yeah.
You look at everything else they've done against Wimberley, they played really well. Against Pleasant Grove, they played really well. Played really well against Paradise the first go around. So you really want a healthy Austin Iglesias against this Brock defense, and I don't know that they have it. Even if they were healthy, I don't know. And look, the Paradise defense is great. They've been playing great all year. One of the most unsung defenses in this region. But I don't know if they have enough to hold this Brock offense. Brody Woods, a quarterback, has gotten better.
This is a different offense than we saw against Gunner. This is a different offense.
Brody Woods for Brock has made just strides, leaps and bounds at quarterback. He looked so first few weeks of the season. This dude right now is playing himself into all-state contention.
Oh, yeah. Junior on the year. He's thrown for 2,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. He's ran for 1,000 yards and another 13 touchdowns. So 43 touchdowns, only 11 interceptions. And it feels like the bulk of those were in the first 5 weeks. I know he had an interception last week. But, you know, and I know Clyde is not on the level that Paradise is. I know that Clyde's quarterback is not as good as Austin Iglesias, but they're the same type.
Yeah.
And the way Brock just absolutely dismantled Clyde last week, you know, it was 14-14 at one point. And then literally as we're checking the scores, it was like 14-14, 35-14, 70-14. It was that quick.
Well, you know, this Brock offense makes you defend so much, right?
Yes.
We know Brody Woods, a quarterback, and then Carson Finney can really stretch the field for Brock. But it's Brett Tutter and Vance Guthrie, the two running backs for Brock. that really kind of suck these safeties up and then give the Woods Finney duo shots down the field.
And give Tutter credit because he, last year he was a workhorse. This year he's kind of taking a role in the backfield. He's still playing hard. He's still doing great things.
The featured back right now, right?
Well, no, I mean, last year he had like 1,500 yards. This year he has 700. He is definitely, him and Guthrie have really split the carries way more than I think anybody planned. But I think that's helped the offense. I think that's part of what we saw against Gunner, and it wasn't Tutter's fault, but Gunner could just key in on him.
Yeah,
and Woods hadn't figured it. Remember, they were still trying to figure out which quarterback was going to be there. Finney hadn't quite become the stretch the defense guy that he was, and so Tutter was just taking battle. Gunner was just teeing off on him, and we saw that against Pleasant Grove, and we saw that against Wimberley. Ever since they've kind of diversified that offense, I'll put it this way: I think Brock is better right now this year than they were at this exact same level last year.
I do too, and I think this Brock offense does not allow opposing defenses to have running back or linebackers running downhill at every snap.
Yeah, that's a great point there.
I mean, all of a sudden you're going to be on your heels defensively if you do that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying if they were to play Gunter right now they'd win, but I think it'd be a way different game because of what you just said. You can't sell out on the run against them. And at the end of the day, I think you're going to get Austin Iglesias as healthy as you can. You're not going to tell that there's a difference, but I think it's just enough. He's banged up just enough that instead of getting 15 yards, he's maybe only getting 7 yards and that kind of stuff. And I just don't think they match up well 1 through 25 on the roster like Brock. I think it's a lot like the last game. I think score-wise it's close. I think it's a 35-14, 35-20 type win for Brock.
Yeah. So I like Brock. You like Brock. They'll take on the winner of 10.
Hang on. We got Coach X.
Oh, Coach
I know you're trying to avoid him, but he picked this game in this region. Man, Brett, I'm sorry, Mr. Lee. I'm really sorry that I've picked against Brock this year.
Why don't he call me Mr. Goodwin?
Because he doesn't like you. I've been wrong every time I've picked against them, except I did pick them when they played Grunter. I don't think he meant to say that, but I'm just going to read what he wrote because we had issues, so he didn't fax it in. He actually emailed it. Man, that AOL dial-up disc I had to give him was annoying. So I was wrong then too, except I'm always right. That's how I live. Even when I'm wrong, I'm still right, and even when I'm right, I'm still right. Who wouldn't want to be me? Brock beats Paradise, except there is no beating Paradise. That's why it's called Paradise. Although I have been to Paradise and it kind of falls short. Unlike the Bushland, oh God,
it's on a lake.
Unlike the Bushland, which doesn't fall short of Paradise, but they did get waxed by Paradise, so that makes it better. Give me Brock, man. The Bushland, dude. You got to find a new bit, buddy. You got to find a new bit.
How do you find a new bit on that, though?
I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of what you got.
Yeah, that's kind of all he has. That's all he wants, maybe. All right, let's go to Region 2, a game that I will be at. Winsboro 12-0 versus Malakoff 13-0, Friday 7:30 at Forney's Citibank Stadium. The last time I was at Citibank Stadium was with you, a Friday after Thanksgiving, and it was Kilgore versus Frisco in a 5A playoff game. Remember that? Like 12 years ago. That's the last time I've been to that.
I had to be 30 years ago.
But it was the year before Kilgore officially moved back down into 4. That was the year that they were still with Marshall in the district. But yeah, we went and watched that game before we headed somewhere. I can't remember. But anyway, this is the game we've been looking for all year, honestly, in this region.
Yeah. Kyler Finney at quarterback for Winsboro, Will Wilcox and Caden Capehart at receivers. A really good defense for Winsboro, taking on just a juggernaut of Malakoff with Mike Jones at quarterback, Jerry and Hall at running back, and then Chauncey Hogg has been almost unstoppable at times at receiver. This is one of those games that is just going to be
an all-out war.
Give.
Yeah, I mean,
something's got to give because this Winsboro offense can move the ball. So can Malakoff, but both defenses are great. Like, what do you do here? How do you pick this?
Well,
I'm almost deferring to the playoff tree here. Like, I got to touch it to get
playoff tree.
Playoff tree says go with your heart on
these
game.
Why do you
quit mixing my voice up with Grant's?
Well, I have to. I have to, or it becomes two playoff trees talking against each other.
Well, that's
See, dang it, shut up.
maybe we should have a signal. I point to the
Well,
tree.
we're on camera, so I mean,
We're not on camera.
Yeah, we are. That's what those things have been this whole year. Did you not realize that?
No
What you thought
way.
you thought I brought in this professional lighting just so you could read better because you have night blindness, which you really, really do.
I really do. Like,
I realized you always say that, but I realized how bad it was when we drove half of the way back from the hotel Friday night in a ditch. I just didn't want to say anything. I'm like, you know what?
well, how many times did I go almost run off the road because it's so dark? Getting to Planet Ford Stadium.
Oh man,
from I-45 where we were staying in spring, it's really dark, and we almost ended up in the ditch a couple of times.
I said it before. I said it when we were driving through that. We've been to Houston twice in the playoffs, and both times somehow we ended up driving country roads in Houston, which is just not a normal thing. But let's go back to this game. So,
all right,
I
like Malakoff in a close one, but man, I can see Winsboro being that surprise team because let me tell you, when I saw Winsboro for not even a whole quarter against Hooks, I walked away from them there so impressed, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Winsboro is a darn good football team, but so is Malakoff. But I'm taking Malakoff. I think Mike Jones is just the X factor. It's hard to pick against him. So I think it's Malakoff taking on Brock next week in the state semifinals.
I mean, yeah, he's an X factor, but then, I mean, do you not say the same thing about Kyler Finney?
And he's got receivers that can just, if they go up for the ball, they come down with it every time.
Exactly.
Every time.
And we brought him up, but everybody leads with Kyler Finney. And I'm not saying any quarterback could run this, but when you've got Will Wilcox and Malik Reddick and Tristan Somajera as three guys,
and they're big up front too.
Yeah, they're big up front. And
excuse me.
That's you okay, buddy?
Yeah.
That was the thing I remember because I didn't get to go to that game. You texting me about that Hooks game was like you were like, "Wow, Winsboro's bigger than I really thought they were going to be up front."
Yeah.
Another issue I'm having is when I look at these teams and I try to look at who they've played, I don't see anybody that Malakoff has played that's comparable to Winsboro, and I don't see Winsboro who's played anybody that's comparable to Malakoff.
Right.
Grandview maybe, but Grandview was down this year. I mean, for Grandview, there was good
Grandview's defense left a lot to be desired.
Exactly, and neither one. And you said it best. Nobody talks about Winsboro's defense. We are used to Malakoff being a defensive team. We talk about Malakoff's defense. Some years that's been the best thing they have.
Malakoff's defense this year only allowing 7.8 points a game on average.
But Winsboro's defense is right there with them.
Pretty close. I mean, not quite as good.
I guess Pottsboro isn't even a good comparison because they're Major McBride and everybody else. Malakoff is Malakoff has Mike Jones, but they all, like you said, Chauncey Hart. I'm going to go with Winsboro. I've been back and forth.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just that's all I was going to say. I'm going Winsboro. I've been back and forth
Malakoff
on it
because I think the Malakoff defense is probably a little bit better, and Mike Jones is such an X factor in both running and throwing. Kyler Finney is an X factor. He's going to beat you in those mid to deep, the intermediate to deep routes. I don't think the Winsboro defense is quite as good as Malakoff. I don't think they're as quick. I think they're as good up front as far as in the interior and can stop the run. But I think Malakoff's defense can do it all. And that's why I'm taking Malakoff, but I think it's a close one. This is going to be a classic, and I wish I could be there, but I'm going to be down at Franklin and Lorena, which, we got to kind of spread things out, right?
For this one, because this is
So I'm taking one for the show, even though Franklin and Lorena is going to be great. I know. And I get to stay in a bed and breakfast and then go to a dance hall on Saturday.
I know Forney's only
and you get to eat at churches or something.
You actually you gave me a good tip on in Forney. We're going to get some Cajun food. Doughbellies. Right. I'd never even heard of that place. I lived there, of course. Back when I lived there, they only had like a Taco Bell and a pizza.
Doughbellies hadn't been there that long.
All right, so here's what Coach X has to say. Big game here, so let's.
No, I'm sorry.
You're just tired.
Rough day for you, buddy.
You had a rough day. Yeah.
Yes.
Your therapist said you need to vocalize your feelings more,
right,
so you yawned.
Yeah, yawned.
All right, big game here, so let's really get into the nitty-gritty. Lazy yellow moon coming out tonight, shining through the trees. Fans are cheering and footballs are floating on a breeze. Baby, get ready. Winsboro and Koff playing football in the dark, scoring TDs and kicking field goals, staying the whole game through. Malakoff beats Winsboro.
Isn't that the start of a country song?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's country, so whatever.
Ask Playoff Tree what he thinks. Was that a country song?
Hang on. Playoff Tree, was that a country song?
Most definitely a playoffs country song. This
Coach.
Sorry.
You're gonna out playoff Tree if you don't play off that button so quick. But yes, this Coach X ripped a country song and should be banned from the show for the next 3 years, even though we don't have any other content to fill it in for him, so I guess he can stay. But I think Brock will be Paradise, and then I think Malakoff will be Winsboro, and then we're going to have a Malakoff and Brock.
It's the Wizard of Oz. Everybody saw. I'm sorry, you're cracking me up because I can hear out of one ear your real voice, and then out of this.
How do you know it was not me?
My cough has been gone
Tree.
for a week, and you brought it back tonight with Playoff Tree. All right, that's the first two regions. Let's go down to Region 3. That crappy game that you have to go to. That you're just it's so tough.
This is going to be awesome. Though the last, the district matchup, the district championship, Franklin and Lorena in Franklin, was a very boring game.
Oh, yeah.
Franklin winning on a walk-off.
You mean Lorena?
Or Lorena winning a walk-off field goal.
Yep.
It's very boring. I don't like those. I like the I'm more like a Belleville Silsby game where it's 35-0 and we leave with 10 minutes left. Second quarter.
I'm going to talk to the Playoff Tree in the 4A show about that.
Yeah, and go and watch, Benny Hill and the
what did we
hotel
watch? I don't even remember what we watched. Oh, you watched True Crime probably.
No, I didn't. We watched football.
Last year, last time they played, it was like 600 yards of total offense. 800 yards of total offense. As you said, Lorena held on to win 52-49. First off, I want to tip my hat to Lorena for what they did last week. I mean, you and I felt, and we weren't the only ones that at the end of the day, Columbus was going to end up going through the region. And it's not that Lorena won that game. That's not the shock. But to hold Columbus like they did and to force the errors, just a really good defensive form. Because I thought if Lorena was going to win that game, it would have been like the Franklin game where it was 45-44. But man, the Leopards defense, they're getting hot at the right time.
Yeah, like Jeremy Hargrave told us that Lorena was just living in their backfield after the first quarter.
Yeah, Columbus jumped up 14-0.
Yeah, and then after that, Lorena's defense just got all kinds of penetration and pretty much limited what Columbus could do.
And Franklin, of course, you want to talk about knowing the difference between two teams in district. Franklin beat Little River Academy 49-28 last week. They beat them 52-27. I mean, that's just that's why when we talk about sometimes the second game the team gets the revenge, but usually the better team still ends up winning.
Well, it depends on who's healthy in the rematch, too.
And that's always
a huge,
very underrated thing.
And I don't think as high school football fans, we don't get to see injury reports or hear from coaches every week, right?
Well, and even if we do, we try to keep that
so and so is banged up or whatever. We don't hear that. So it's really who is more healthy, Franklin or Lorena, in this ball game. I do know that all the big time players for both teams are going to be in this game. Jaden Jackson for Franklin, defensive lineman. Look, Franklin's defense. We keep talking about Jaden Jackson offensively for Franklin, but their defense is what makes them roll, much like Lorena. But Franklin is going to rely on their linebackers, Colby Smith and Braden Yoree, their defensive lineman, Major Kimbrough, who has just been a beast all year. Lorena, offensively, how can they negate some of that defensive prowess that Franklin's going to throw out there? Braylon Henry at running back, Jaden Porter, receiver, Colin Hill, Jackson Generals, Brock Kill, all at receiver. And then, Caden Roberts, at quarterback, has been playing lights out the last 6 weeks.
Well, I don't.
And I really think Caden Roberts is the X factor. Caden Roberts and Braylon Henry are the two X factors for this Lorena offense. And I think this Lorena defense really found their stroke last week against Columbus. And that's why I think they might win this one again.
As much as you're talking about defense, and I know defenses will make plays, I'm going to go back to it's going to be a lot like the first game.
Yeah.
These two offenses are just so good, even against two defense. And both of these defenses, to be fair, at times this year have given up points. Neither one of these teams are going to win most of the games.
Not
simply
against
by
Patsy's, though. They
both
of these
but I mean,
played,
we're not in Patsy land anymore. We're everybody they play.
I know.
And
but you can kind of throw some of their defensive average out based on who they play.
No, I agree, but I mean they're playing that same level. So I'm just going on the average of they played each other. I don't know if it's 52-49, but I think it's 42-39. Picking a random score.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Franklin because I do think that this is one of those rematches where the first game literally was a walk-off field goal. So these two teams are even, and usually when that happens, that's when and also let's remember, Franklin hadn't been beaten in the playoffs in a while. I know Lorena won state 2 years ago, but they got beat last year by Columbus in the first round. Did get that revenge, but I'm at that point now almost where until you beat Franklin in the playoffs, I don't know if I can go against Franklin.
It's got to happen at some time.
It's got to happen at some time.
And Lorena turned the ball over a few times in the first game go around, I believe, right?
Both teams did, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
I think if they clean that up, I think they win this game again in a very close one, a shocker, just like, if their defense plays, if Lorena's defense plays like they played against Columbus, I think they're tough to beat. So I'm going to take Lorena in a close one. Could go either way.
All right, let's see what Coach X has to say. Whatever happened to the actor that played Clifford Franklin in The Replacements? He was in every movie from 2000 to 2007 and then nothing. Hollywood is an awful temptress. Don't ask me how I know. Let's just say that a less than sober Coach X and a casting couch and I almost got the lead in Casablanca. I don't think that adds up. But just like Meatloaf said, I won't do that. Oh, and Coach Fannin, give them hell. Lions win.
I would venture to say that the lead role or a supporting role in Casablanca back when that was filmed would still eclipse his salary as a coach, right?
Yes, and
where he's coaching.
And he's talking about the movie The Replacements, the football movie, and he's talking about Orlando Jones, and Orlando Jones is still in a lot of stuff, but Orlando Jones is also one of those that's kind of crazy. I listen to some podcasts that he's on, and he's kind of weird. But anyway, let's finish up 3A Division I with a Region 4 matchup that I think everybody's kind of forgetting about because the other three games on the docket for 3A Division I. But Edna 10-0 versus Blanco 11-2, 7 p.m. Friday at Bastrop's Memorial Stadium. I'm going to tell you what, man, you got it. You called this. We were talking earlier in the year. And we were just talking about Edna. And I think it was after they lost to Refugio. Oh, no, it was after they lost to Goliad. And I'm like, man, I just don't know if they're the same team this year. And you were like, look, at the end of the day, Edna's going to be playing for the Region 4 championship. And here they are playing for the Region 4 championship. I'm not sure either one of us thought that the Panthers of Blanco would make it.
No, I don't think.
In fact, I know we both went against them last week.
Oh, yeah. And I kind of thought Edna would win this region. Jaden Clay, quarterback, Cade Rodas at running back. But they're taking on a surprise Blanco team who's 11-2 with a dual threat quarterback in Cameron Anderson that I think this Edna defense is going to be stretched just trying to defend Cameron Anderson. And then you throw in the running backs, Nick Fox and Trey Ashley. I think this Edna defense is in trouble.
I do too. And we talked about it. Goliad beat Edna 21-6. It's not that, I went with Goliad last week, but it's not that the Panthers beat Goliad, it's beat them 34-0. That just shocked me. And, the Panthers this year defensively, they've been okay. They haven't been great, but in in the last three playoff games, two of them, they have shutouts. They gave up 24 to London, who Edna did shut out in district. There's a couple crossover games where these two teams have played each other. I don't know. Maybe I'm buying in a week late, but I'm like you. I kind of think the Panthers will win this.
Yeah, I do too. I like Blanco in a very close one here.
This just feels like that game where when, Edna's kind of been sitting there all year and we've kind of been pointing to him all year that, and Blanco's that team that, again, everybody just says, oh, well, this will be the week. Okay, well, then this will be the week. And here they are in the region finals. Give me the Panthers, and let's see what Coach X has to say. So who is the most famous person from Blanco? Jason LaRue. Not bad pro baseball player. Who's the most famous? Here we go. Who's the most famous person from Edna? Stunning Steve Williams. Oh, you didn't know who that is? Sorry. You might know him as the ringmaster. No. How about the Texas Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin? If I coached in Edna, I'd get fired fast, I bet, because after the game, we won or lost, I'd walk across the 50, double bird the other team's head coach and go right into the stomach, kicking a stunner, then crawl up the fence on our sideline and stand there until somebody threw me a natural light. Edna wins, and Edna wins big. I don't think he's really picking that by like true football. It feels like he's got such a love affair for Steve Austin. I think that's what he's picking Edna for.
So I've got Blanco, you've got Blanco,
and dumbass
he's
has
got Edna. What does the playoff tree have to say?
Oh, hang on.
Let's see here.
Hang on. Playoff tree, playoff tree. Who wins ye between Edna and Blanco?
The Edna Cowboys will win this football game.
Wait.
They will win it in a very close contest. And no, this is not AI. This is real intelligence telling you this. And I think the Cowboys are going to ride them ponies.
Even though
the Panthers quit doing that. Terry, do you want me to crawl through you?
I'm signaling.
Your
bedroom
hang
window
on,
with
hang
my
on.
buck knife.
Wait, what is that? Why do you keep saying? But so let me get this straight. You
Uh-huh.
pick Blanco.
Yeah.
You as the voice of the playoff tree.
I'm not the voice of the playoff tree.
I mean, you do realize the video shows you talking. You need to do this next time. They'll never know. You know, some of our listeners, this will fool them 100%.
Fade to black next time.
Fade to black next time. Playoff tree comes on because I don't want to kill you in your sleep.
I'm a little afraid right now. And we don't fade the black on here. Anyway.
All right, fade to static or something. I don't know.
That's classic.
This is a really creepy tree.
You love the tree.
I did until it started talking.
Well, I told you not to sacrifice the goat to it. I mean, that's what started all this. Anyway, that's Class 3A Division 1. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to do Class 3A Division 2, and maybe the playoff trio come back. I don't know. He freaks me out too. Are you an athletic director or coach looking to make your locker room pop, looking to refresh your look, looking to redo your brand? Well, check out SI Design and Printing. They're going to transform your sports organization athletic facilities into what you're looking for by enhancing the student-athlete experience, boasting the brand, and honoring your past. They do that with banners, backlit signage, locker graphics, window graphics, fence mesh graphic designs, and so much more. If you need a refresh, SI Design is going to help you do that. Check them out online, sidesign.net. And hey, if you're a parent or a grandparent, they've got something for you as well, as SI Design is the leading provider of custom sports prints. They offer a variety of products, including posters, banners, canvases, and more. All you have to do is upload your high-quality studio or action shot, and SI Design will create the memory for you. For more information, all you have to do is go to their website, sidesign.net/sports prints, and you'll get all the information that you need. You can also find them on Facebook. Just type in SI Design and Printing. Give them a call, 254-405-9492, or you can email them, info@sidesign.net, and tell Kyle that's Sideline to Sideline.
Helmets don't protect every direction of force, and in some sports, a helmet just isn't part of the equipment, like basketball or soccer. Hockey has a small type of helmet. They just don't protect you against all the directions of forces that come into play. You can get forces on top of your head, on the side, on the back, but under the chin, there's nothing to protect that except for a physiologically positioned jaw. Putting your jaw in its physiologic rest position brings the actual jawbone away from the skull so that when you receive that force from an impact, that force doesn't get translated through the joint into that cradle of the skull, injuring the brain.
L4 Media. We talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. So like and subscribe and check us out. Grant Goodwin back here, the Class 3A edition of the Region Championships, brought to you by SI Design and Printing, also brought to you by Small Town Society. Excuse me. You can find them online at Shop Small Town Society for all your game day gear, Texas gear, holiday gear. They have it all, including this shirt. By the way, Grant, when you go down to the Franklin game, you have one of these waiting on you.
What?
The shirt.
Oh, okay. Couldn't see the trees in the way.
You
okay? No, I remember now.
And he made this shirt specifically for you. This has actually been out of print, and he actually did it all up so that he could give you a shirt.
Reprinted one for me.
Huh?
Reprinted one for me.
No, he printed one, not reprinted.
Oh,
he went and did it all.
He could print a fake passport for me.
And put it on a shirt.
No.
Why do you need a fake passport? You have a passport.
Do I though?
That is true. That's a good point.
I mean, it might have been revoked.
Boy, do you know that takes a lot of things to happen for them to revoke a passport? Are you sure you should be traveling down to the Franklin game this week? Do we need to have this talk?
Well, luckily, I will not need my passport.
Why was it that you gave me once again the lawyer card before you left Saturday or Sunday as you dropped me off? Also, want to thank Everidge Farms. You can find them online at everidgefarms.com. If you want some Texas Wagyu meat raised on the farm from birth to harvest, you want Everidge Farms. They have whole tenderloins, they have bone-in prime rib, full briskets, ribeye steaks. They also have specials like their farmer's special, their monthly West Texas family box, their Grillmaster box. Right now they have 40 pounds of ground beef, 40 pounds for $249.
Who in their right mind could eat 40 pounds before it goes bad?
You freeze it.
Well, yeah, but even then, if you don't freeze it right, I guess you take one of those vacuum sealers so it doesn't be a freezer burn. Okay, cool.
Right in this.
I need a.
See, I grew up in the country, and I know technically you did too.
This is a country song. I grew up in the country.
I beat my dog. But my mom would do the whole go to Sam's back when Sam's first started and get 30 pounds of ground beef and freeze half of it. But she had a vacuum thing too, though. By the way, my dad's listening. Hi, Dad.
Hi, Dad. Hey, Ray.
Sam Elliott, as Noe likes to call him. All right.
Ray is a cool dude, though. I enjoyed when we went a couple years ago and hung out with him.
Yeah, it's just weird that you're stealing all their fine china. That was odd.
I mean, do they miss it?
No. Dad didn't know what fine china is. Anyway, I also want to thank Jet Boats of Texas. You can find them online at jetboatsoftexas.com. Toughest Texas boat builders. Basically, you go to their website. And this is the cool thing. You do not even have to get a hold of them until you go to the website. Click on Boat Builder, figure out the basics, the skeleton of what you want in your boat. Then they will contact you to finish it off. They have awesome boats. They have awesome videos too on their website, Jet Boats of Texas. You can also find them on Facebook, Jet Boats of Texas as well. All right.
I want a jet boat with a big fan powered by, I'd say 8,000 horsepower.
Jesus Christ.
And then with glowing red eyes on front.
So you basically
some longhorns on the front. Too.
You basically
want to be Boss Hog on the water, but also Smokey from Smokey and the Bandit on the water.
You're gonna be like one of those.
And I want to be able to fish the whole time.
Be like one of those.
Man, that's a fast crappie.
Chase that bass down, get him, boy. You're gonna be like those guys in the 70s who would try to build their own little rockets and then they'd go off and they'd die because they would go 500 feet in the air and then they would just come right down.
Yeah, I'm part of the you don't know if you don't try crowd.
Yeah, that crowd oddly enough died off. I wonder why.
Right? I'm like the only one left. Our conventions are really small.
Because you've actually never tried. You just say it, then you kind of back off into the corner when they start to do stupid stuff.
If nobody can check your facts.
There you go. You can become a president one day. All right, let's go to Class 3A Division 2.
Political.
That's as political as I get.
All right, Alex Jones, go ahead. Tell me the rest.
Well, first I got to sell you some vitamin salt, and then we'll go on. All right, let's go to Region 1. Wall 11-2 versus Canadian 13-0. This game is Friday, 6 p.m. Lubbock's Pirate Stadium. Does Wall have a chance?
Yes, they do, but they don't.
So
So let me tell you this, because Canadian.
Tell me, Uncle. We'll get at your feet.
Look, I know this Wall defense, man.
Been lights out.
Yeah, I mean, giving up 7.9 points a game.
Yeah, their 2 losses have really been because their offense didn't score. They lost to Jim Ned 17-14. They lost to Mason 14-7.
A healthy Jim Ned.
A very healthy. In fact, I think that's when the quarterback got hurt.
So they play great defense, Wall does, and they average 446 yards a game rushing. So it's kind of that Bill Parcells type of team, right? Wall is play good defense and run the ball, run clock, eat possessions, eat time, limit the other team's opportunities, right?
Yeah.
Wear them down. The problem is Canadian has a great defense as well. They're very physical. They're giving up more per game on average, but not over 3 touchdowns on average.
Well, and a lot of those are trash touchdowns when they're up 60-7.
Well, and that's exactly it. You know, Cameron Cavalier, quarterback, one of the best class 3A quarterbacks out there as far as what he does all around, run, throw, whatever. Caden Crooks at running back, Luke Flowers, Preston Neimer.
They go 8 receiver, deep, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Canadian can roll out dudes left and right in just waves, right? I think Wall has a shot, but I really think Canadian wins this by 2 touchdowns or more because at the end of the day, Canadian is just so physical.
I like that you led with their defense because, again, Canadians known for their offense. But to me, what'll win this game is that I have no trust that Wall will be able to score on them consistently enough.
No, they're going to have to
and you're going to have to score. Yeah, and you're not.
And Wall cannot give up any possessions.
No, exactly. And Wall's not. If Wall wins this game, it's not going to be 14-7. They're going to have to find some big plays. They're going to have to get some special team scores. They're going to have to hope Canadian spits the bit a little bit offensively with penalties and turnovers. And even then, I don't know if they're explosive enough. I disagree with you on one thing. I don't think it's 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think at the end of the day, Canadian probably can name their score in this one.
Okay.
All right, let's see what Coach X has to say. The great white north is flying high, but you know what would stop Canadians? A wall. Huh. I thought going AWOL was a bad thing. That's what they said Bill Murray did in Stripes. Guess they were wrong. AWOL stops stuff, and Stripes is an awesome movie, but I don't think it'll stop the hosers from winning the game. Give me the Wildcats. I agree with him. All right, let's go to the Region 2. Jacksboro 13-0, Gunner 13-0. This game Friday, 7 p.m. at Denton Collins Stadium. First off, congratulations to Jacksboro. A thrilling win over Holiday, going for 2 at the end of the game to tie it, going for 2 on the second round of the OT to win it. You know, we have our thoughts on this game, but I just want to, for a second, just what a great season by the Tigers of Jacksboro.
Yeah, I mean, look, going back to that Holiday game, going for 2 twice, in overtime, that tells me this is a Jacksboro coach says, look, we didn't come here to lose. We came here to get it over with quickly and leave no doubt.
They scored 49 against a great defense.
Some balls, too, by the way.
Especially that first one. The second one, you get it. But the first one, man, I mean.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, win or lose.
Yeah.
We're doing it right here. We're not going again.
And they did this against a Holiday defense that had played well against good teams. This wasn't a paper team that they were playing.
No.
In fact, we kind of thought Jacksboro was simply because of who they played through the year, you know, until that win against Holiday, you know, Bells or Henrietta was probably the best team that they'd played. Mm-hmm. Now, at the end of the day, I still think that that's a big issue. Gunner is just look, if Holiday,
Gunner's a different animal.
Yeah, if Holiday was playing this game and we have a Holiday show, and I've enjoyed doing the show. It's our second year to do it. And Coach Kyle Atwood's been a blast. He's actually going to be on some of our state championship stuff. But if Holiday was in this round, I say Gunner names their score. I'm not going to change that now.
Yeah.
I like Jacksboro's offense, Lando Belcher, for all the talk of all the quarterbacks in 3A on both divisions. And you and I have said this might be the most talented class of quarterbacks that we've seen in the 3A level. Lando Belcher's right there. He's maybe not as prolific. He doesn't put up 800 yards like some, but him and Cannon Valenzuela, the wide receiver,
offense for
does.
Jacksboro does.
I mean, they're putting up PlayStation numbers.
Oh, they are. Here's the problem. They're going up against a Gunner defense that gives up just over 6 points a game on average. And then what's Jacksboro's defense going to do to answer Walker Overman, the quarterback from Gunner that is just a deadly strike quarterback on the ground, especially from anywhere on the field? You can have Gunner backed up at the 1 yard line.
Yep.
And Overman is a threat to go 99 at any time. And then you throw in Cannon Lindbergh, his quarterback kind of stretched the field. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
There's a problem.
And you, again, compare. Comanche Gunner beat last week 45-0. Jacksboro beat Comanche in district 30-22. Look, great season by Jacksboro, probably their best season since they were winning state. I just think Gunner can name their own score.
And that will set up the game we have circled.
Wall versus Gunner.
Canadian versus Gunner. And we have circled that. Hopefully it'll be back on a Saturday next week.
It won't be on a Saturday.
Abilene. Yeah, it has been the last few weeks.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll do that this year. You'll put that on a Friday so you can match up your state championships.
I don't know. They did it last year, the year before last, the year before
I thought last year was Friday.
No, it's been Saturday.
Was it? All right, here's what Coach X has to say. Comanche almost pulled it off over Gunner this past week. I mean, if that game had just been one more quarter, I really think the tide was turning in the favor of the Indians, or Gunner would have scored 63 points. But this week, Jax is going to pull it hard on the Tigers. Upset alert, Jacksboro over the Roaches.
He's never once picked Gunner.
No, he never has. I want this, though, to happen.
Okay.
I want there to be a day, and I'm sorry, Gunner fans, but I want there to be a day that Gunner has fallen so far that they actually want Coach X to be the head coach, because I want to see how he would handle that interview, because I think he would do the Steve Austin.
Offering $200,000.
Yes, just an amazing amount.
So he can't refuse,
Coach
but
X.
his morals.
We want that punt and shoot, Coach X. We want that punt and shoot. Can you come to us? I think he would Steve Austin him with the double fingers. And I still think all that he's just completely making up. I don't think any of that really happened. All right, let's go to Region 3. And, folks, this is an old-fashioned Northeast Texas versus Southeast Texas brawl. Dangerfield 10-3, Newton 11-0. At the perfect spot. Friday, 7 p.m. at Jacksonville's Tomato Bowl. They've redone that stadium. It was always awesome, but it was kind of crappy because of, if you're in the press box. And now it's awesome. It's a great stadium. And, dude, this one, we didn't see it coming as much as Canadian and Gunner, but this one is just as good. This is going to be a Donnybrook.
I kind of think we might have, in the preseason show, back in August, actually predicted Dangerfield and Newton in the region final.
We did, but with Dangerfield, you just never know if they're actually going to come through it. And by the way,
they have been playing solid since that loss to Harmony in district last game of district.
Yeah, I think it was because it was 4 district championships.
They have, I don't know what they've done. They've gotten their heads right with ball. They have cleaned things up, and starting with hooks that we saw a couple of weeks ago, they look like state champions that week.
Well, and I want to say this. We have always, the 16 years we've been doing this show, we've always said Dangerfield is unreliable. When they're great, they're great. When they're not, it's usually because of things internally or they just whatever. This team has been through a lot this year.
Yeah.
Quarterback got hurt. He was going to be out for the year at one point. He ended up coming back, but they had a wave of injuries. They were 2-2 going into district, losing to Timpson, losing to Center, lost to Harmony that last game of the year in district. But, man, since then, they've just obliterated, and especially that Hooks game. It's not beating Hooks.
Well, it's beating them
33-6.
2 of those losses were to ranked opponents that were a higher division. And then Timpson being a state championship type caliber team down in Class 2A,
They would compete in 3A Division II perfectly fine.
Oh, yeah,
perfectly fine
absolutely.
this year.
Look, Dangerfield is, I think Dangerfield, after seeing them against Hooks, it's all about Chase Johnson at quarterback and Ashton Williams at running back, and then Arian Hampton and Kenny Mosley at receiver. Those are your big dudes that if you're the Newton defense, you got to stop.
And their defense for Dangerfield is underrated this year, man. Underrated.
Very underrated. Now, the thing is, Newton has outscored their opponents 645 to 150. And Newton has a running back, a freshman running back, and KJ Porter that has stepped up and started changing the whole nucleus of this Newton football team.
I don't think it's fair when Newton has freshmen and sophomores that can do that, because usually when they have that, they're about to make a run on some state championships.
Well, they're already making a run.
That's
right
what I'm
here
saying.
with
That's
a
what I'm saying.
freshman
This is a
KJ
start.
Porter, and then Heiko Malone at quarterback, really darn good. This Newton defense is outstanding. This is a hard game to pick. I'm going to take Newton in a very close one. Dangerfield is very capable of winning this football game, but I think Newton takes this one.
I like Newton in this one, and I think it's close early, but I think Newton stretches it at the end. Not like by crate, but a 35 to 21 type of thing.
If Newton blows Dangerfield out, I think Newton will win. But if Newton blows Dangerfield out, it's because Dangerfield got in the way in themselves and shot themselves in the foot. If Dangerfield plays a clean game, Newton could be in trouble.
Yeah.
But I just like Newton in this one. What does Coach X say?
I think all the regional finals, this one was the one everybody saw coming. No, you didn't, Terry. You kept talking about Winona versus Alba Golden. So Alba Golden's in Region 2, aren't they? Don't try to steal my thunder or my lightning. Why is it still my thunder? It should be lightning. I mean, if you could have one of those, which would you rather have? That's actually a good point. Damn right, it's lightning. Lightning gets stuff done. Thunder is just rumbling like Grant in the bathroom after his CCs. The Purple Eagles win this one. I will say this. For all the talk about Gunner and Canadian, the bottom half of this bracket, there's some teams that if they come out like a Newton, even a Dangerfield, they're going to at least give that. It's going to be a battle in the state championship game. I don't think it's a walkover like everybody thinks it will be. And we can even say that now on the Region 4, Tidehaven versus Post. Where's that game? I don't have that pulled up.
This is in Victoria on Friday. And yeah, the winner of Dangerfield Newton does not have an easy semifinal game because they're going up against 12-0 Tidehaven, 13-1 Poth. Look, Tidehaven, I think Tidehaven's going to win this football game and they'll play Newton. But Tidehaven's defense has only allowed 41 points all season. I think that's probably the best average of any defense in all classes, 6A and down.
So Poth on the year, I'm trying to add this up, but I'll just say that they gave up 27 to Blanco in that game. Well, we see where Blanco's at.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, they gave up 0, 7, 7, 7, 0, 0, 0, 7, 13, 0, 0, 7, and 7.
That's 82 points.
Back-to-back weeks against East Bernard and Lexington, two offensive-heavy teams. Poth, and we know what Poth's like that defensively. I'm like you. I think Tidehaven wins, but I think this is a 14-10, 14-13 type game. I don't think either team scores a lot.
Yeah, maybe not. But I think Tidehaven's defense is about 20 points better on average. Again, Poth gives up 82. Tidehaven gives up 41. But I think the X factor here is Tidehaven's Joseph Dobbs running back. That kid has turned in from week 5 of the season, has been almost unstoppable. Had a big week last week, and I see that, I just don't see anything changing for Dobbs. I think the Pirate defense will limit him a little bit more, but I think he's the X factor, and I think he gets the yards needed to keep the chains moving and win one of those games where he just extends possessions and he gets enough first downs where possessions actually really matter. A lot of these games and these high scoring, this high scoring era, possessions don't matter quite as much.
I agree.
Right?
But now remember last year, this game was 12-6. Post won.
Yes.
I don't think it's much different than that.
I think Tidehaven wins this one, though.
No, I do too. I think Tidehaven wins, but I think
Okay.
it's like a 14-13. 21 might be the top ceiling. And it's neither, it's not a knock on either one of these offenses. It's just these two defenses are just that good.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Coach X has to say. Why isn't Tidehaven's mascot the Poseidon? Be pretty cool. Your girls' teams could be the I always have a hard time saying this. Is it Amphitrite? I can't remember how you say that. Hey, who is y'all's mascot? We're the Tigers. Oh, that's cool. We're the gods of the sea. So the gods of the sea versus the pirates. Oh my God, this is awesome. Be careful, Pope. That didn't work out well for Odious, and I don't think it's going to work out well for y'all either. Tidehaven Poseidon wins. So we all agree that Tidehaven wins. He just does it in a weird way. All right, you have anything else to say?
Nope.
That's going to do it for the
Playoff
class.
tree. Have anything to say?
Cool. That just about does it for me. I think I'll go in and just rub on out pretty well.
You okay?
What?
Yeah.
Said,
You just make sure you're
that's
okay.
all.
I can't see your face, so I don't.
Why you put all these lights on me? This shit gets hot, man. And then I don't even like this hat.
Wait, the
on
playoff
top of
tree
me.
cusses?
Well, not. This stuff gets really hot, and I don't like this stupid women's hat you put on top of my head.
But it's the philosophy of the show.
Run the damn ball.
Run
Sure.
the damn ball.
If we're from the 80s,
Hey,
I like to sling it around the yard.
you like to fling it and sling. You love those 65 to 60 scores.
Oh yeah, I like to stick it up in the flat.
Okay, that's it. Playoff tree's out. That's going to do it for this week. Again, we'll be back next week to talk the state semifinals 3A style. We also have our 2A show, our 4A show. Look up or down, and you can watch or listen to them. Email us any questions, thoughts, or comments. Grant and Terry at Grant and Terry at S2Sport.com.
Don't even know our email
It's
address.
so long.
I don't either.
I gotta shorten it, man. It was better than the last one.
I
It
had
was
that
really
problem
long.
too.
Hey yo, you can find us on Facebook, Sideline to Sideline. Follow us on Twitter at Grant and Terry. And until next week, this is Sideline to Sideline, brought to you by SI Design and Printing, 3A style.
Friday night, cracking open a cold Bud Light.